Good morning, everybody from Palermo in Sicily. There are so many things to do when you are in Palermo, but today I want to take you in a completely different place. It's a hidden gem. It's a villa from 1700s with a lot of history behind. And I'm sure that if you saw most of touristic things in Palermo, the old city, the opera, the shopping area and so on, discovering Villa Trebi can be a highlight of your trip. Just follow me. This is the main entrance of Villa Trabia. The history of the villa starts in 1600s, at the beginning of 1600s, and Count Giacomo bought this park and started to develop a residence using the foundation of an old cottage which existed here in this area. After that, at the beginning of 1700s, the family Trabia, the Prince of Trabia, bought the entire area and developed from the little garden which was surrounding the cottage. He developed a real very fashionable park. You'll have the chance to discover the beauty of the park of Villa Trebbia, and a little bit later how Villa Trebbia looks like now. The idea of the entire villa was of Princess Sofia of Trebbia, which in 1760 decided to transform the little area here in a very modern, very trendy, very expensive and luxurious residence area. Belvedere Bridge. That was one of the features created by Princess Sofia of Trebi to the entire area of this residence villa. It was very interesting because the bridge was created with the purpose of impressing the guests arriving at the villa. And just try to imagine that somewhere behind me you can see the main entrance to the villa, and after that the carriages with the guests, they will pass this bridge. Of course, now under the bridge is just one of the busiest road of Palermo, but in old days, at the end of 1700s, this bridge was the main access road to Trebi Villa. And after you are impressed by the size of this bridge, you can see how wide it is. After that, you'll enter another wonder of the Trebi Villa, is the park. And you'll see in a second how Princess Sofia of Trebi imagined to recreate the entire botanic garden here in her own park. Of Trabia didn't care about how much money he will spend in transforming this garden in one of the most glamorous places in Palermo. One of them brought here in Sicily all the famous garden designers in the entire Italy, and they came with the idea to place everything in one single line. And therefore behind me you can see the entrance. After that, imagine that was Belvedere Bridge, Ponte Belvedere, the main fountain with a mythological figure, a triton, and after that was the access to the villa. The park was for many years. I remind you that they started to transform the villa in a resident area sometimes around 17 1960, 70, 65. For many, many years, this place was one of the most luxurious and special places in Palermo. Of course, now the park looks a little bit different. Until after 1950s, nobody took care of the villa. The last owner, and I will tell you the legend of the last owner a little bit later, after the last owner, nobody invested money in this place. And unfortunately, right now, Trebi Villa is just a lovely park where you can walk your dogs, you can have your romantic dates, but that's all. Nothing left from the former glory of the Trebi Villa. We are at the main entrance of Trebi Villa. Behind me you can see the absolutely fantastic silhouette, an architectural gem, typical romantic Italian architectural style. The villa was built, what you can see behind me, dates back from 1800s when the villa was developed. In that time they decided to have two different wings with a little courtyard and the main entrance facing the beautiful garden behind me and facing the main access route, the Belvedere, the Ponte Belvedere. The villa still has a little bit of the old charm, and even if now hosts a branch of the Palermo Library, they have here a library for children, a video library and an information point. It's not too much left from the glorious history of this place, but even now in 2016 you can realize, looking at the beautiful building behind me, what a fabulous place Villa Trebi supposed to be in 1800s. The history of Villa Trabia is going on and on and on since 1600. But maybe one of the most famous owner of this beautiful place is the last prince of Trabia. He was a very good diplomat. He worked in Paris for a while, but he was expelled from Paris because apparently he had a relationship with a lady very well connected with the French aristocracy. He returned to Palermo, and Prince Trabia started to be the president of Comune di Palermo. He developed this villa step by step, and he started to make a fortune with his trades around Sicily. He was very intelligent, he was very well educated, and what is very interesting is that he was a womanizer. The story of the secret love between the last prince of Trabia and the famous American actress Rita Hayworth, it's already in all the gossips columns in Hollywood and in Italy. Finally, he will get married with another famous actress, this time an Italian actress. But they will be married only for a couple of months because the death of the last Prince of Trabia is still a big mystery. Official reports said that he committed suicide, jumping from the first floor, on the balcony on the first floor, in a very luxurious and exclusive hotel in Rome. But here in Palermo, everybody thinks that the last Prince of Trabia was assassinated, was actually pushed from that window, taking into account all his political and financial power. Since then, the story of the last Prince of Trabia still haunting this beautiful villa, which now hosts a branch of the local library, a library for children, an internet database, and a touristic information. So if you come to Palermo and you have some time, please do not forget to visit the beautiful Trabia Villa. Prince of Trabia, Raimondo Trabia, decided to add new features to the beautiful Trabia villa. He invited in mid-1800 the famous gardener Vincenzo Osticelli. He was one of the most famous and the most appreciated garden designer in that time in Italy. And he decided that a beautiful villa like this one will need its own botanical garden. And he built a couple of pavilions where very rare species from around the world were brought here in Palermo in Sicily, and the botanical garden started to be another very appreciated feature of the beautiful villa. Unfortunately, after the death of Raimond Trabia, nobody invested in the botanical garden, and now even the students coming here, they try to invest some time and sometimes some money in bringing back the botanical garden to the glamour and the beauty from that time, from 1800.